Why don't I believe you?
Today, in Judge Karen's court, this baby mama is giving this grandma drama.
I loaned her $400.
But I really don't feel like I owe her the money.
What's her relationship to you?
Son's grandmother.
And he's caught in the middle.
Her and my son was just arguing. She was beating him upside the head.
We've hit each other, actually.
Did you hit him with something that gave him 22 stitches?
I hit him with my fist.
Wow. I understand there's a question about paternity.
And now there's a baby boy in search of a father.
I get a phone call from her friend. She goes, that baby don't belong to James.
So you question now today whether or not baby is your baby?
I do.
Can we please have the results of our DNA test?
Real judge. Real drama. Real justice. And now, you're about to enter Judge Karen's court. Plaintiff Sierra Nelson is suing her ex-boyfriend's mother for the remainder of a $400 loan to fix her car. Sierra says that since she and the defendant's son broke up, the defendant has refused to pay her back. Sierra is also in court to prove that her ex-boyfriend is the father of their one-year-old baby boy. Defendant Leslie Hickson argues she allowed Sierra to live with her rent-free, and the money she took from Sierra was simply payment for food and gas. Leslie is desperately hoping the baby in question is her grandson, but says Sierra slept with numerous men around the time of conception, so there's no telling who the father is.
Miss Sierra Nelson.
Yes, ma'am.
You're suing Miss Leslie Hickson for a $300 loan.
Yes, ma'am.
And what's her relationship to you?
This is my son's grandmother.
Okay, the mother of your child's father.
Yes.
Okay, how did you meet her son?
It started in, I say, November of '05. And later on in '06, we started to get real close to each other as far as getting to know each other.
Well, I
seeing
read
each
your
other.
pleadings and I see you have a child. Is this her grandchild?
Yes.
Okay, how old is the baby?
He will be 1 next month.
Okay, so what's your relationship like with the plaintiff, ma'am?
It's a crazy relationship, honestly. I mean, when I first met Sierra, I didn't like her. I thought she was too young for my son.
How old is your son?
My son will be 28 next month.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay. Is this your first grandchild?
This is my first grandchild.
And your only grandchild?
And my only.
Okay.
My only.
And I understand there's a question about paternity of that child.
Yes, Judge Karen, it is a question. There have been rumors.
But that's not a question for you. You know it's her grandchild?
No, I have no questions about it. Anything.
Why would the paternity of the child be in question?
What happened was I had stopped speaking to some of my friends. I guess the only way they thought that they could hurt me is by telling his mom and telling him that, oh, this, and this happened.
That it wasn't his baby?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, but none of that is true?
No.
You've been faithful to her son?
Yes.
Okay. Look at that face. You don't believe she's been faithful to your son?
I don't see how she could have really been faithful because they wasn't together, say, 3 months consecutively, so.
Right. Well, how does this $300 come up?
What happened was she lived in Alabama. We were pretty close during my pregnancy, called her 3 in the morning.
Were you excited about the baby, ma'am?
I was very excited.
Did she come out to, where are you from?
I am actually from California, but I live in Alabama now.
But did she come out to Alabama when you were living there?
No, she called me. She's like, guess what? I'm like, what? She goes, I'm pregnant. And I mean, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so excited.
Right.
So excited. Like she said, you know, staying on the phone hours at a time because my son, he actually went to jail.
So how did you see the baby? Your son went to jail?
My son went to jail, actually. I think she may have been a week pregnant. He was actually incarcerated the entire 9 months that she was pregnant. So we did develop a relationship.
So he was incarcerated the entire 9 months of your pregnancy?
Yes.
How did he know you were pregnant before he went to jail?
No, we found out actually after he went to jail.
While he was in jail, you found out you were pregnant?
Yes.
And did you?
Yeah, we went down there and I spoke with him. I told him everything like that.
You went to the jail and told him?
Yes.
So when did you get a chance to see baby?
I actually didn't see the baby until he was around 5 months old. I was gonna fly out here to see the baby, and her and my son was just arguing. She was beating him upside the head when she got ready, throwing him out in the street.
She was beating up your son?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that true?
That is false.
You never beat up her son?
We have got into it several times.
What does that mean,
physically.
get into it?
We
Put
have-
your hand down. You're not in church.
We have fought.
What do you mean, get into it?
We have fought several times.
You mean
It's-
physically fight?
Physically. It's
Really?
not. Yes.
Is he a big guy?
No.
It's a small guy.
He's probably a little bit, like an inch or two taller than me, if that.
Okay. So you
But
hit him
it's-
before?
We've hit each other, actually. Yes.
Right.
It's never been like, oh, I'm just gonna hit you in your face.
Have you ever been arrested for hitting him?
No.
Has he ever been arrested for hitting you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So it was a violent relationship, it sounds like.
It was very violent. I'm getting woke up 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. You need to come and get your blank, blank, blank son. Your son's a bum. Ripping up his clothes, throwing him out on the street.
Look,
Did you
can I say
rip up
something?
his clothes and
Yeah.
throw him out in the street?
Yeah, I did. But let me just tell you what. I was under a lot of stress at that time. I'm taking care of a baby that is
Right.
both of ours.
Right.
I'm taking care of me, him, and my son. I'm doing everything for my son, and it's like he's
So
sitting
her
there.
son wasn't working to take care of
No.
your son?
No, he
Your
was
son
the-
wasn't working, ma'am?
No, he was not working.
And anytime I would ask him like, oh, change your son's diaper, change your son's diaper, change your son's diaper, we would get in arguments because of little stuff like that.
Right.
So,
Well, didn't you know what you were getting into before you?
No, I
Did
didn't.
you use protection?
No, I didn't.
Well, how could you not use protection?
It
What
was,
were you thinking?
Just wasn't thinking at
Did
the
he have a
moment.
job when you slept with him?
No.
Did you think, God, I'm not using protection. If I get pregnant, this guy doesn't even have a job. Is he going to be able to take care of baby?
No.
You didn't even think that. Just
No.
laid down with him, cold turkey. And got pregnant.
Yep.
Okay, so you finally see baby.
Yes.
How does the baby get to Alabama?
I flew the baby and my son
Your
down
son
to
and baby,
Alabama.
okay.
Yes, and so that's when I saw him for the first time.
And what'd you think of baby?
Just love him. He's the best. He's the most handsome baby. When he saw me, he is just like, he looked at me and he's going. He's just like, hi. That's what it seems like. And I pick him up.
Does he look
and
like your son?
I really, really don't see my son in him, just to be honest with you.
Right. Is it possible it's not her son's baby?
No, it's not.
Well, let me ask this question. Since you had sex with her son without condoms or protection, had you had sex with other men without protection?
No.
Oh, so when you had sex with other men, you used protection?
Yes.
When Judge Karen's court continues.
I
How
take
was
care
the
of baby.
relationship when she was with your son at your house?
Boom, 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 blam, blam, blam. Ah! The baby's crying on the floor. Blood's everywhere, looking like
Blood?
a murder scene. Yes. From her cold cocking him in the head, he got 23 stitches in his head. The
Is
last
that
fight.
true?
And later,
Her friend Lala, she goes, that baby don't belong to James.
A friend of hers named Lala called. She was like, you know what, I've been wanting to let you know this for a while.
So you question now today whether or not baby is your baby?
I do.
Do you have any other witnesses?
Lala's here.
You're kidding. What makes you think that James is not the baby's father?
She was promiscuous.
we're back in Judge Karen's court. Sierra Nelson is suing her ex-boyfriend's mother for the remainder of a loan. Leslie Hickson denies owing anything and is hoping that the court's DNA test will prove that she's the grandmother of Sierra's baby boy.
So baby gets out there. We're not quite sure who baby favors and whatever. Does she ever come out to Alabama?
Not at that point, but I need to say this, if you don't mind, Judge Karen.
Yeah.
The day after the baby gets there, I'm going to the mall getting ready to spoil the baby.
Right.
I get a phone call.
From her?
No, from her friend, ex-friend, whatever, but someone who's been in her life a couple of years.
Right.
I get a call. She goes, I know you're happy to get a baby, but I want to tell you, that baby is not for your son. Don't spend a dime. If you know, like I know, you would take that money that you're going to spend on a baby and get a DNA test, because he don't belong to James. This baby's for this person, that person. I'm just like, I'm so overwhelmed. My daughter's with me.
Who's the person that made the call?
Her friend Lala.
Who's Lala?
She's a nobody, really. Just an old friend that I used to go kick it with and
Right.
have fun with, party with.
So why would Lala call her and say this ain't your grandbaby?
Because we had got into it and she had got upset due to the fact that I told people on Facebook somebody else was the godmom.
Right.
Which I've never told her that she was the godmom.
Well, let
What's
me
going
ask this
on here?
question. Did you ever go out to Alabama?
Yes.
Okay.
I went out because I was getting threatened that my son was going to get taken away from me.
By
and
whom?
Her son.
Okay. Well, how
he
was
was
life in Alabama? We're a real big, happy family?
Well, at first when I got out there, I wasn't going to stay. I was just really going to go get my son and come back to California.
Right.
What happened was when I did get there, she was so happy that her grandson, because even though she said she got the news, she was still claiming it was her grandson. Still, this is my grandson, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. She was like, yeah, you guys can come out here, get a car, get a house real quick, it's easy.
Did you decide you were going to stay in
Yeah, so, like,
Alabama?
a week
Did
later-
you offer for them to stay in Alabama?
I did.
So you could
So
be
they
a
could get on their
grandmother.
feet. Yeah, and I said I'd
How
take
was
care
the
of the baby.
relationship when she was with your son at your house?
Constantly being woken up in the morning, boom, 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 blam, 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 ah! And then next thing you know, I go in there and the baby's crying on the floor. Blood's everywhere, looking like a murder scene. Yes. From her cold cocking him in the head, he got 23 stitches in his head the
Is
last
that
fight.
true? Did you hit him with something that gave him 22 stitches?
I hit
a
him with my
fist.
fist.
Wow.
But I've also was.
Do we have the picture of that?
Yes, I sent it in.
Wow.
I mean, I've
It looks
also,
like he's got a black eye too.
He already had that scar on his eye,
Okay.
but that's it. It was all the way to the white meat.
Right. You
But I-
did that with just punching him? Did you have a ring
Yes,
on or
yes,
something?
ma'am. No, I don't wear rings.
Brass knuckles?
But she's also witnessed me having black eyes and a busted lip while I was
that
in her
true?
home.
Yes, the very last fight when we took him there, she did have a black eye and she did have a busted lip.
Look
But
at
that
the
was like
environment.
the last
Look
of
at
about 10
environment,
fights.
mama, grandmama. Look at
Last
the
of the 10
environment.
fights.
Baby is starting off not even a year old dealing with this kind of violence.
Always.
You obviously were too immature to have a child.
Not me, it was him.
Not me, it was you. It was you.
I take care of my responsibility.
Well,
He can't.
barely. Taking kids. This is how you take care of responsibility? So tell me about the $300.
What happened was while we were there, her Land Rover did break down from taking me to work one day. And when it was time to get it out, she did mention to me that it was a certain amount, they might not have it,
Right.
this and that.
So
And,
did you loan her money to get out
yes,
her
ma'am.
Land
I loaned
Rover?
her $400.
Is that true?
She did loan me $400 and I did give her $100 of it back. But I really don't feel like I owe her the money.
What you just said, she loaned me $400.
She did.
though.
She did.
Okay,
She
so
did.
if she loaned me money, that means I
Oh,
her money. So I don't even have to decide on this one.
Well,
Because you agree that you owe her $300, right?
yeah, not really.
Why don't you owe her the other
Because
three?
she lived in my house from February to May, didn't give us rent.
Did you
ate
tell
food.
her she was going to have to pay rent and she didn't pay?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so this is just a defense to not giving her her $300.
You could kind of say that.
Yeah, I can say that.
Coming up next on Judge Karen's Court, Lala gets called into court.
You state in your sworn statement, I think my ex-husband is the father of her baby.
There's a possibility.
During the commercial break, the courtroom gallery voted for whom they thought would win this dispute. And now, here's how they called the case.
The other issue in this case had to do with whether or not this child is even her grandson.
Right.
Because I imagine that was one of the reasons why you answered this suit and came out here is because
Definitely.
you want to see this grandchild and you wonder whether or not this is your grandchild. Did your
really
son
wonder.
happen to come here with you?
Yes, my son is here.
Is he here?
Judge
What's
Karen.
his name?
His name is James Bishop.
The court calls James Bishop. Pull your pants up, James Bishop.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Tighten up that belt, James Bishop.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, come on. Keep one hand on that belt. Okay, so you're James Bishop.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is your mom,
Yes.
and this is your ex-girlfriend.
Yes.
She told me that you guys fight a lot.
Yeah, we always fighting and stuff because she has an attitude problem. You know, she's a real feisty person. I never questioned the paternity until, you know, a few months when me and my son was in Alabama.
Right.
I was getting calls, crazy calls, and
From who?
emails.
Who was calling you?
Well, a friend of hers named Lala called.
Lala.
and,
Again, I
yeah.
hear from Lala.
She was like, you know what, I've been wanting to let you know this for a while, but by me and Sierra being friends, I didn't want to, you know, put her out there like that. And
So you question now today whether or not baby is yours.
right, I do.
And it is his baby.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you may step down. As a matter of fact, you can sit in a chair next to Mom.
Okay.
All right, so Mom, I know you want to get to the bottom of this whole DNA issue. Do you have any other witnesses?
Actually, I do. Matter of fact, Lala's here.
You're kidding.
No.
The court calls Shannon Lala Macbeth. Come forward, ma'am. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, come on up, ma'am, to the witness stand. So you're Lala.
Correct.
And how do you know the plaintiff?
We were friends for about 3 years.
3 years, and are you no longer friends?
No, we're not.
So I hear you were making telephone calls accusing her of lying about the baby's daddy. Is that true? Did you make calls to the defendant or to the defendant's son?
Yes, I did.
Well, what
And-
makes you think that James is not the baby's father?
Because the night that he went to jail, we went to a party and she hooked up with somebody there and she was sleeping with somebody else there. And I mean, she was promiscuous.
Why are you friends with somebody who's so promiscuous?
'Cause
When
she
we-
was doing the same thing.
When we first got,
Excuse me?
She got it twisted. She was doing that. I was just rolling with her.
no, I don't think so. Sierra,
Well, let me ask you a question, because I
Okay.
read a statement from you. Let me just refresh my recollection as to what you said. You state in your sworn statement, I think my ex-husband is the father of her baby.
there's a possibility.
Was she having sexual relations with your ex-husband?
Yeah, she was.
You're positive about that?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
why would
I don't
you be-
have any more questions for you. Do you happen to have any questions for Ms. Shannon?
Are you telling the truth?
Yeah, I'm telling the truth.
And Ms. Sierra,
I
you
have nothing to say to her. I just want to get to the paternity test so I can prove her wrong and she can go on with her life.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to step down.
Okay, bye.
Don't go anywhere. The paternity results are next on Judge Karen's Court. We're back in Judge Karen's Court as Sierra Nelson and Leslie Hickson await the results of a DNA test to determine whether or not Leslie's son is the father of Sierra's baby boy.
Okay, as you know, a few days ago, I had my legal team take your DNA sample, ma'am, and your DNA sample, and we sent those samples to the DNA Diagnostics Center in Fairfield, Ohio for analysis.
Right.
But before I get to those results, I want to ask you first, ma'am, is he the father of your child?
Yes, ma'am.
No question.
No question.
And
I can tell
James, do you believe you're the father of the child?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, and you want this to be your grandchild. Is that correct, ma'am? You love this baby.
I do.
Can we please have the results of our independent DNA test? Is the father.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
Thank you.
Can I see him?
That's nice. Where is the baby?
Can I see him?
Really? No. But
Can she see the baby?
I guess I can let you glance at him.
Hey.
Come here. He's Gamma.
Oh, he knew
He
it.
hadn't seen him in 4 months.
And still knows daddy. Well, you know what?
Oh.
I'm so glad this story has had a happy ending
glad
for
too.
everybody.
Thank
and I
you.
hope that we could put the differences behind us, that maybe you can grow up a little, and maybe having this baby is going to help you grow up some.
It has.
And baby needs to have a relationship with his daddy, because daddy was not a sperm donor.
Well.
Daddy was somebody that you cared about, and you laid down with him, and you had this child with him. So you let him father this child. All right? Court's adjourned. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
More to come in Judge Karen's Court.
kind of say I'm glad I lost the case because I really did order $300, so I'm happy with the outcome.
I feel awesome about the judge's ruling.
I feel real good about the DNA results, and I'm really excited to know for sure beyond a shadow of a doubt that he's my grandson. I'm hoping that the relationship will get better, where I'll get to see him more.
I already knew from the beginning that he was the father, so it just makes other people look stupid, and I win in the end.